In this video, we're going to pair the new Wahoo Trackr Speed Sensor to a Wahoo Roam v1 and a Wahoo Roam v2 bike computer. All right, the best way to pair and set up your Wahoo Trackr Speed Sensor to your Wahoo Roam v1 computer is to go into the Wahoo Elemnt app. All right, and once you get into the app, make sure you're connected to your Wahoo computer. Go into settings, and it looks like we're connected. So now you just want to scroll down to sensors. Go to setup sensors, click on that. And now it's going to show you a list of saved sensors that I have here, and none of those are the speed sensor. So move the speed sensor around to wake it up, and a blue light should start flashing on there. There you go. All right, and once it's awake, it should show up here in unsaved sensors once we give it a second or two to show up. All right, it just showed up over here. All right, so go ahead and click on that, and we want to save the Wahoo Trackr Speed Sensor. So just hit save, and now it is listed under our saved sensors. All right, but you're not done yet, so now we need to configure it. So go ahead into the Trackr Speed Sensor and click on Configure Wheel Circumference. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. And now you're going to notice a couple of options here. There is a button called Auto. If you turn that on, other options are going to disappear, and you can just go ahead and take off at this point and it's going to work just fine. If you want to enter your actual wheel circumference, you want to turn that off, and you have a couple of options. You can go into this list here, and there's going to be a whole list of all different size tires in here. Now mine is actually a 700 by 42C, which is not actually listed here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and measure the circumference of my tire manually in the garage. And I'm going to show you in a moment how I do that. And once I measure that, I'm going to enter it right here in the custom size box. The Wahoo Trackr Speed Sensor is one of the newer Wahoo sensors, and it works on a simple concept. So it goes around the hub of your bike, and then it just spins as you ride. It tells the computer each time that it goes around one revolution. So to set it up, we tell the computer the circumference of your tire. So the computer now knows how far you travel with one revolution of the wheel. And it uses that math to calculate your speed and distance. This sensor goes for about $50, but there are less expensive sensors that work the same way and are compatible with the Wahoo computers. So you can go to Amazon. I'll put links in the description below for some of the other sensors. There's actually one by Meijin that is about half the price of the Wahoo if you want to go that route. I'm going to measure the wheel circumference on the floor here in the garage. So I'm just going to make a starting point. I'm going to start right here. I'm just going to put the valve stem right at the bottom, right on my starting line right there. For the best accuracy, I'm going to actually get on the bike. I'm just going to roll the bike one complete revolution till the valve stem is on the floor again, right there. All right, I'm going to mark that line. All right, so the distance between this line and that line is the exact circumference of my wheel. So I'm just going to measure that, make sure it's nice and accurate. We'll say 86 3/4 inches. Now we want that in meters, so we're going to have to do the math. According to the calculator here, that is 2.20345 meters. All right, so now we're going to type in 2.2 into the custom size box, which I have already done, and that's going to give me my wheel circumference. So now I am good to go, and all I need to do is connect the sensor to my bike. All right, now we're going to pair the Wahoo Trackr Speed Sensor with the Wahoo Roam v2 computer. So once again, you want to go into your Elemnt app. It's almost exactly the same as the version 1, the way you do this. So once you connect, make sure you're in the settings tab, scroll down to sensors, set up sensors. We don't have the speed sensor in the saved sensors here. So once again, make sure it's awake. It does shut off if it's not moved for a period of time. Make sure the blue light is flashing. Okay, so now in the unsaved sensors, it did find the speed sensor. So go ahead and hit that, hit save speed sensor. All right, one thing that I have found on the version 2 computer, once you get the speed sensor saved in your saved sensors and you go into it, it does not give you the opportunity to add your wheel circumference. Okay, so you want to make sure your speed sensor says connected. And once it says connected and you're showing a signal there, what you want to do is go ahead and start your ride, and then turn your sensor a little bit until your computer thinks that you're actually moving. All right. And then it's going to come up with auto right in here. All right, so it did like an automatic calibration here. So now you can go in here and configure wheel circumference. Okay, so once you get in here, if auto is clicked, that's fine. Your sensor is going to work in conjunction with the GPS signals that the computer picks up, and it's going to calibrate itself. So that's one way you can do it, and you can be done at this point. If you want to actually enter in your tire circumference, which is what I prefer to do so that I know it's set up properly. My 42C tires are not in here, but I did measure it. So we're going to put in a custom size, which as we saw was 2.20. All right, hit done. And now I'm going to back out. It says here 2.2 meters, and that's how far I go in one wheel revolution. Now I am all set up and good to go. So now all I need to do is stop this ride, delete the ride, all right, and then now I can just go out on a ride and I'm ready to go. All right, installing the sensor on the hub is pretty easy to do. I prefer to put it on my front wheel, although you can do front or rear, and the only reason for that is just because it's closer to my computer, and I figure why make it struggle to get a signal. So all you need to do is take the rubber part here and work through the spokes here, put your sensor on the hub, and then pull the rubber piece around like that. All right, pull the tab around like that and snap it over the hooks right there, and there you have it. It is attached to the wheel. It's that simple. There's a close-up of the sensor right there. Hook it on nice and secure, and now every time the wheel starts spinning, the sensor is going to wake up on its own, and it's going to start sending information to my computer. All right, hopefully you have found value in this video. If so, please hit like below. Please subscribe for more information of this type, and thanks for watching.